the only thing that you should achieve by the age of 23, 24, 25, one of the things that he's been able to do incredibly well as a founder is the basics. If I had to kind of break it down into 4 parts, there are a lot of anecdotes that say like the Tagmango, which takes 6 years to grow this much, and then after 6 years, you have to believe it with absolute faith. And once you have that faith, you...
So, Bhaiya, how's it been? How's everything?
All good. Have you started?
Yeah, अरे आप बीच में पूछोगे have we started मतलब we have not started.
This is part of the podcast.
Okay. Then we have started. Okay.
All good, bro. Yeah. Tell me what's up.
Everything is good. So we're trying to do something new. We're trying to get a lot of perspectives, a lot of opinions with a lot of like-minded people who have tried doing something in this industry or in multiple industries in their respective industries. But we're just trying to get their opinion, get their views, get to understand what challenges they have faced in their journey. And first, let me congratulate you. Your Tagmango, your baby, has completed 4.5 years since you started. How does it feel?
It's been incredible, bro. It's been a roller coaster, as all businesses
of course
are. And I think there's been an incredible amount of maturity that's come in over the last 4.5 years. Like I've loved every single day of that journey, and I wouldn't have wanted it to be any different. And like I always believe that businesses inherently you have to look at it at least as a minimum 10-year game. And not for the short run. And if you're building with the long term in mind, then you just have fun every day and build with the right set of people. And then automatically success will come your way when it's the right time to come.
Very true, very well said.
What's been up with you? XD? What's happening with XD? So what is XD all about?
We have finally launched our clothing brand actually, but our launch was just for the start. Now we are actually diving deep into the categories. We are launching many subcategories for the audience because we got the love we wanted. Like with the launch, people really loved us. Though it was a small market that we targeted in the beginning, but everyone who wore our products had good things to say. So that is all that means to us. That is all that we wanted, to hear good things about our product that we have spent a couple of months to build a certain product, right? We have put in a lot of energies, efforts, time to build a certain product, and that was a great product. Touchwood, like, yeah.
I wanted to ask, like, because there are a ton of e-commerce businesses out there already, like how do you differentiate in that crowded space, and what does XD truly stand for?
See, there are more than 1 lakh e-commerce websites present just in India. जिसमें से probably more than 50% are fake websites. Probably the customer will order something and they will never get the parcel, or they will not even get any updates of what is happening with the shipping or like dispatch, nothing. It's done. Forget about it.
Right.
So the main game is to differentiate yourself from such businesses.
Okay.
That is the main game. कि आपको पहले कस्टमर का ट्रस्ट जीतना है कि आप कस्टमर अगर हमारे वेबसाइट से कुछ, हमारे ब्रांड से कुछ ऑर्डर करे तो वो उनको मिलेगा. That is the biggest game an e-commerce brand needs to crack first. Once they crack that, I feel then they should take the route of customer assurance, gaining the customer assurance. That is done through ways like influencer marketing, branding, collabs and all that, but that will not generate any sales for you. Again, what I'm speaking from is my experience, correct? Influencer marketing is a great way to get the brand awareness. It is a brand awareness campaign, I would say. Okay, brand awareness campaign. It is not a sales campaign. It is more like, okay, people come to XD's page, the brand's page. They see, okay, this brand has worked with this influencer also. This brand has worked with this influencers also. They gain that trust. Okay, if these people got it, if these people are also promoting it, matlab it is no joke. Right. That is the first step to go about it. Secondly, how we differentiate ourselves from the other brands that are currently in the market. See, of course, branding and marketing is very important and all brands are doing it, correct? But branding and marketing से आपको sales कितना derive होएगा? एक ही बार खरीदेगा customer. Second time अगर आपको चाहिए कि वो customer वापस आपके brand से खरीदे, तो your product needs to speak. Branding marketing के वजह से अगर आपका product खराब है पहली बार, तो second time कोई खरीदेगा ही नहीं. तो first आप अपना product को ठीक कर लो, फिर आप branding marketing में innovative, whatever the trend says, whatever the timing suggests, you go ahead with that. उसके वजह से आपको आपका पहला कस्टमर तो मिल जाएगा, बट अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो आपके वो कस्टमर्स, yes, that is the main game also. Similarly, I wanted to ask that we are doing a fashion brand. There is nothing so different that we can do except we can make our product, we can make our quality, we can give that personal touch to our customers. That is all we can do. But when you moved into the space of Tagmango's influencer creator economy space, that was a pretty new thing back then. Correct? I'm sure there were certain players back then also doing the whole influencer, nano influencer marketing things and stuff like that also. But how did you differentiate yourself from them, and how did you create a market for yourself?
So I mean, when we started about 4.5 years back, like the creator space or the creator economy, the term was altogether vegetable. Even like I had started out the journey as a content creator, but there was no like set parameter or a certain way to kind of go about.
You were just exploring.
I was just exploring it, and what we identified is, of course, there is a gap of monetization for content creators. कि पैसे कैसे कमाएंगे, even though I have distribution. And brands was the only way back then. But especially in my niche, इतने brands थे नहीं. जैसे I was on the educational kind of content space, जहाँ पे ज़्यादा brands थे नहीं. So we thought, what are the other ways to kind of monetize? And वो thesis था, on top of which we started building Tagmango. At that, what are alternate streams of revenue that can be unlocked for content creators? And we said कि अगर brand से भी पैसा कमाया जा सकता है, तो क्या directly मेरे followers से पैसे कमाया जा सकता है? And that became like the core thesis that we started to explore. And when we started back in 2019, already there were no real players that were doing it in India. In India, outside there were players like Patreon, there was Teachable, the different use cases solved कर रहे थे. But Bharat में there was no one really who was solving for that. And the difference that actually comes in is when you're exploring a new category, you also don't know which direction you are actually going to, and you're on a bunch of trial and error, and then.
And I feel one should be open also to multiple paths.
You should be open to multiple paths, and because it cannot be a linear, business is never a linear game. You keep learning and reiterating, understanding what the customer effectively wants. And over time we kept building, and now what we have is we've built a suite of features for content creators that they can monetize in any format possible with their customers directly. So any kind of digital product, चाहे वो educationally रहा, so courses, like webinars, things like that. We also build like OTT platforms for content creators. So even if they want to monetize exclusive content purely in an OTT format, they can do that. They can monetize just communities altogether when it comes to so any kind of digital product, if you want to monetize it's a PDF also, an audio note as well. If you have distribution and relevant trust, then you have a way to monetize all of that. So that's where the differentiation primarily now lies. And that came through in the learning curve of exploring and diving into a new market.
Right, definitely. So back then there were no Indian players, correct? But there were foreign players.
Sure.
What was the difference between, like, how do things happen there with the whole influencer creator space, and what is the difference in India, like as of now, not back then, as of now? Because back then Indian creator space wasn't that boomed. This is what we are talking 4.5 years back. Sure. Right now the creator space, probably creators are earning more than CEOs and VPs and VCs right now. Okay, right now the space is crazy, but now also, what do you think is still the difference between the Indian creator space and the foreign creator space?
So I think bunch of differences. Firstly, on a creator level, like across all themes, we are about 3 to 5 years behind. Okay. Let's say if I look at Western economies, if I look at purely content creators, out there a lot of niche, very micro niche driven content creators have come up, and they've scaled up also altogether over time. And we will also continue our conversation because the bell just rang.
Now that we were talking about the creator economy 4 years back and right now, see, of course, in the last 4.5 years, the creator space has like gone to a certain level where businesses also have like really dreamt of going to, correct? Like people have wanted a life like that, what creators are living currently. I'm sure there is a lot of hard work and a lot of efforts also behind that, but the creator space is like booming. It is a great time for creators right now, and every third person wants to become a creator right now. So India took 4.5 years for the creator space to become like this, but I'm sure because there were startups 4.5 years back also in the creator space outside India, What is the current market right now, and what do you think is the difference the Indian market and the foreign markets have in the creator space as of now?
Okay, that's a great question. Sure, I think if I look at it from a macroeconomic level, there are two angles I can look at it from. Usually, India tends to kind of adopt what's happening in the Western nation. We are 3 to 5 years behind, usually is what we've seen. If I see purely from a creator lens, I've seen that in the US and other economies, there are a lot of micro niches that have been touched upon in terms of content creation. So if someone will talk about, let's say, Ayurveda, they will go very, very deep into Ayurveda and like a certain topic in Ayurveda which will be expanded on in terms of content. So that availability of content is a lot more in there. And there also exposure to content in terms of the audience has been a lot higher because, I mean, purely in terms of mobile data and accessibility of mobile phones, etc. People have had that for quite some time. So this is on a more creator kind of lens. On a more platform lens, I think there is a lot more mature platforms when it comes to the creator economy side of things. So platforms internationally now we are kind of catching up, but would be about a couple of years ahead, 2 to 3 years ahead. And it also talks about the maturity of the ecosystem. For example, a platform called Teachable, which helps you create courses. They've already built out the platform over the last 10 years and the founders already exited from it. And that exit can only happen if the overall ecosystem has matured quite some bit. So I think on a platform level we see that, but Indian platforms now can slowly compare against all those platforms a lot.
Because now we are there.
We're there as well. And a lot of Indian platforms, including Tagmango, will start capturing a lot of the international markets too, which is the next stage of the business for us. Those two things, and I think the willingness for the consumer to buy from a creator-led brand is a lot higher because there are like multiple cultural factors also attached to that, because content and buying through mobile phone is relatively new compared to, let's say, an Amazon coming in 1995 to 2000s, which is still a lot more in the US, UK markets. But in India, it's now kind of becoming a trend, so it's building up. So right now, if creators sell, it will be relatively harder compared to the US market. But it's still a massive opportunity standalone in itself. So I think those are a few kind of trends in terms of differentiation for the India versus the international kind of counterpart. What do you see on the fashion side? Because I don't have much idea about that space.
See, any product that is made can be sourced. The fabric, the materials can be sourced, correct? So brands of course have their own set of parameters, own set of house rules that we will use such things, we will use such fabrics, such things they have that differentiate each other from the rest. But the biggest differentiator between the international brands and Indian brands would be storytelling.
Okay.
The way international brands storytell and sell the product, Indian brands need to learn that. Though there are a few Indian brands that are really good at storytelling. Jaywalking does beautiful storytelling and customer engagement. Mr. Walking himself, he does it himself. Even Almost Gods. There is a brand called Almost Gods. They do great storytelling behind their designs, the reasoning behind their designs, the reasoning behind why the product was made. Correct? Sure. So that engages the customer, and the customer wants to be a part of the brand because of the story. Right. That is important. Right now in India, people are just trying to make something and sell. Create a story, learn how to storytell. Even if it is just a plain t-shirt, there should be a story behind that plain t-shirt.
Right.
That is what will sell.
What are some brands internationally that you see have done storytelling like really well?
All the luxury brands that you see or that we aspire or we look up to, correct? They have all done a great job in storytelling. Okay. Be it Versace, be it Off-White, be it Gucci, any of these bigger brands. Let's go down to semi-luxury brands also. Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, they are international brands, correct? Right. Just see the level of storytelling. Just see when they're launching the product, the meaning behind the product. Chalo, right now we are at a much commercial level where everything is happening just to sell. Right. But when you look at those brands which are not doing it on a commercial level, their storytelling is actually powerful because उन लोग का वो focus नहीं है कि हमको बेचना है, हम लोग को इतना बेचना है. Right. हम लोग को 10 बेचना है, बट हमको वो क्वालिटी बेचना है, हमको वो उस कस्टमर को ही बेचना है जो हमको समझता है. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दैट इज वेयर दोज इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड्स आर विनिंग. वो आप इतना स्टोरी टेलिंग की वजह से देयर आर दो सर्टेन पीपल हु अंडरस्टैंड, ओके, एंड वंस दो सर्टेन पीपल हैव वोन इट, इट बिकम्स अ थिंग, एंड देन दोज पीपल आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग दैट कि oh no, we also want to wear that, we also want to wear that. They don't know the story behind it, they don't know the reasoning behind it, they don't understand the meaning behind it, but it has become a thing now. But it becomes a thing because of the story behind it, because of the meaning behind it. So for example, today I design something for you, particularly only for you, okay, and I give you a story behind it ki okay, this means this comes from this. I give you that, you understood it, you appreciate it, you've worn it. Now people who look up to you start wearing that because you have worn it, but they don't understand the story behind it, correct? My target, my focus, my aim should be for them also to be able to understand the story behind it. I don't want it to become a hype brand. I want it to become a personally, like there should be personal connection with every order that is getting sent from our business.
So what is it like? What is it about stories or storytelling that brands can do right?
There is nothing much you want to do into it, so let me give you a small example. It's not a storytelling, it is just a customer engagement thing. What jaywalking did, correct? Let's talk about jaywalking because this is something I saw yesterday only. This is what something they did yesterday only. They are planning to launch a set of perfumes, correct? They know it's going to be expensive. On their story they are talking about it, how much time we have spent building it, why it is expensive. They have given the reasons before launching it only. Now people are already looking forward for the perfume, correct? Even if he charges 10,000 more than the actual price, but now people are already looking forward for something that is coming out. And why it is expensive, that also he is mentioned, he is trying to explain, he is connecting with you, he is telling you. आज अपने कोई नया ब्रांड का कुछ इतना एक्सपेंसिव देखते हैं, एकदम ही कुछ बहुत ही एक्सपेंसिव कुछ देख लो अगर, तो आपका फर्स्ट थॉट तो लगेगा ये लोग क्या कुछ भी इतना महंगे में बेच रहे हैं, करेक्ट? बट यही जो जे वॉकिंग के फॉलोअर्स है, दे प्ले अ कम्युनिटी गेम. उन लोग के कम्युनिटी वालों ने जितने ने भी वो स्टोरी देख लिया कल, नाउ व्हेन द प्रोडक्ट लॉन्चेस, वो लोग वो नहीं बोलेंगे कि ये क्या कुछ भी इतने में थोड़ी ना बेच रहा है. वो लोग समझ रहे हैं कि इतने में क्यों बेच रहा है, एंड जिन लोग को ज़्यादा समझ आ रहा है वो लोग वो चीज़ खरीद भी लेंगे. दैट इज़ द रियल गेम. आज द फाउंडर, द को फाउंडर, द person running the business needs to engage with the customers directly themselves. Team and all is great, team will also connect, but jab tak the founder doesn't connect with the customers directly, I think that trust, that assurance, that is not generated only.
Basically you're talking about personal branding when it comes to leading to
Personal branding is very important.
Entrepreneurship, inherently.
Correct. Personal branding is very important, but then there is a very thin line between people running towards clout in the name of personal branding. Clout is something else. You are running behind clout, that is something else. You are running behind personal branding so that it helps your brand. There is collateral benefits for your business. Then it's personal branding. For example, Aman Gupta. People know Aman Gupta as Boat, as the CMO of Boat. Correct? That's a win. That's a win for him because he is a personal brand for Boat.
Correct? No, for sure. I mean, it shouldn't be independent of the company or the product that you're inherently running. Definitely, there should be a sync to it.
Definitely, but like the kids, the youngsters right now, they're running towards clout in the name of personal branding.
It's called vanity.
Yeah.
And vanity is something that humans inherently want to run after because we want social validation. Of course. Across all things. I've learned in almost a hard way that in fact, the entire of last year for me was chasing depth instead of vanity. So I've been off Instagram. Possibly I'm doing a conversation after like a year or so.
Feels good to be having with me, of course.
But ideally, I mean, what I've realized, like I've been off Instagram for the last 1 year, and I run a creator economy company with all the top educational content creators, every single one in every single niche works on our platform.
Okay.
So out of everyone will think that of all people I have to be on Instagram, right? I mean, because I'm running, my business is connected to Instagram directly, but I don't.
So now that we are talking about communities playing such an important role in all the businesses, be it any type of businesses, any business, any startup, any venture that we are talking about, but communities play a very, very, very crucial role in building, and the businesses quite a lot depend on those communities. Can you share your experience of how did you build a community, and what is your opinion on businesses having their communities? What is your take on the same?
Let's take a step back and ask you a question. What, according to you, is a community? Let's define what a community is.
I think community is a set of people who are probably just around your brand or around whatever is happening relevant to them liking it, them following it, them looking out for what is happening. And once they keep connecting with your brand, or when they keep connecting with whatever you are providing, that is when you've started to build a community. A community can be a people of 10 also, it can be a pool of 10,000 also. Correct. So, but if those 10 people are also looking out for what your brand is doing, you have a community of 10. And to build that is what is important.
So ideally, I mean, a community, like taking from what you said, is a set of people coming together. They have a common belief, and they have the ability to talk to each other or interact with each other, and it's highly engaged, less engaged, depends on what. There is a common set of beliefs, maybe rules as well, and the ability to talk to each other. That is what kind of builds a community. What platforms like Instagram, Facebook allow you to do is they allow you to create one-sided communities where a singular brand or a singular creator can talk to a lot of people, 100,000, 200,000 people, but those 100,000 people cannot kind of interact with each other. The future of communities, the way we see it, and we use this term loosely right now, how we look at it is the ability to unlock, let's say you have 100,000 people or 1,000 people of this day, unlock that 1,000 people conversation amongst each other.
Correct.
Brands that are able to do that extremely well are the ones that will build in the long run. What we do, for example, and Tagmango is largely built on that core thesis as well. So we let creators build their own communities too, where their followers can talk to each other around a common theme. The common theme can be finance, it can be personal development, it can be tarot card reading, whatever their common theme is. And it could be paid, it could be non-paid, whatever the format is. Let's say I meet you for the first time and we hit it off really well and we become really good friends, but we meet because of an ex-creator. The trust that we have in that ex-creator just increases multi-fold. And that would have never been possible if I would just be viewing that creator on Instagram, which is a one-to-many profile. So I think that's how we look at communities, and that's how brands should also look at communities. Even for Indian brands for the future, and for you as well as you're building XD, like Gymshark is a very, very popular kind of example. Gymshark's now a $1 billion company, they built completely on athleisure. Now Gymshark, they were primarily just a Facebook group. Their community was built primarily on just a Facebook group where people were posting a lot of things around Gymshark, wearing the products, the lifestyle, etc. And helping each other kind of reach their fitness goals or the way they went about engaging the community or the Now the reason behind Gymshark's success was because they invested so much around community, and that got correlated with athleisure as a concept itself. Right. So future of brands, and especially all kinds of brands, anyone who's looking to differentiate has to build a community around the niche, provide them value.
Correct.
Make sure that you're unlocking conversations and interactions amongst the people that's coming in. And that is going to directly impact your CAC on the front end. So if you're running performance marketing, then it's automatically going to reduce your performance marketing cost, because trust, the first thing that you mentioned, everyone's looking to optimize trust. Trust will be a lot, which also that you're attempting to do through this podcast.
Exactly. I mean, everyone is trying to do that in their own way.
Exactly. And on the back end as well, it will improve trust, which will increase the lifetime value of a customer. Right. So they will keep coming back from you, keep buying from you, because what you said, that they connect to the story behind the brand rather than just the product that's being sold.
Definitely, and that is exactly what is important also. So we also did a small gig to probably start building the community. We did it a different way. Like, of course, you must be knowing about this college called Jai Hind in Bombay, correct? So we were their official merchandise partner for their 2023 Shout Fest. So what we did over there was, of course, we provided clothes and all to the members. That is a different thing, being the merchandise partner. That is not important. What is important is, we had a stall over there. There were multiple brands with multiple stalls over there. Probably, let's take an example of, there were 30 stalls over there with 29 stalls selling stuff, ठीक है, to college students. आज college students have come to the fest to enjoy, to have fun. Like it is very unlikely for them to pay there and buy stuff. They have not come there to shop. They've come there to have a good time, just chill probably, right? 29 shops were selling stuff and 29 shops were empty. 29 stalls were empty. There was no one going there. Probably people just go check out the stuff and bounce. No one is buying. There is no sales happening. ठीक है, I did not expect sales to happen. That is why 3 days of those fests हम लोग ने हमारा सेल्स ही चालू नहीं रखा. ठीक है, हमने वहाँ पे क्या किया, एक स्मॉल एक्टिविटी की हमने. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू एज अ स्टूडेंट और जस्ट अ व्यूअर हैव कम टू आवर स्टॉल. वी टेल यू, okay, you get to try your luck or you get to try your knowledge. You can try one thing. What do you basically are more bullish on, your luck or your knowledge? If you say you are more bullish on your luck, we make you spin the wheel. Whatever comes, you get freebies, you get free gifts, you get discount coupons. You don't need to pay anything, you don't need to buy anything. Just try your luck and go. That's it. Or if you want to try your knowledge, then we had prepared a small fashion quiz, all related to fashion brands and like very generic common questions, not something very difficult. Like certain points, if you score in that, then you get a freebie or you get discount coupons and stuff like that. Other than that, we had multiple games going on there. We had our own DJ setup there.
अच्छा, खुद का DJ setup?
खुद का DJ setup कर लिया. क्यों? हम लोग को तो भाई people के साथ खाली पार्टी करनी थी. हम लोग को चाहिए था कि वो लोग XD के साथ enjoy करें. हमारे स्टॉल के आगे क्राउड था ना, हमारे बाजू वाले स्टॉल्स हमारे क्राउड का स्नैप्स ले रहे हैं अपने स्टोरीज पे पोस्ट करने के लिए, कि लगे कि उनके वहाँ पे क्राउड है. जबकि हम लोग सेल्स कर रहे नहीं है, हम लोग यहाँ पे खाली लोगों को गेम्स खिला रहे हैं, गिफ्ट्स दे रहे हैं, पार्टी कर रहे हैं, मज़े कर रहे हैं. आज इससे क्या हुआ कि नेक्स्ट टाइम XD के लिए वो लोग के दिमाग में कुछ तो याद तो रहेगा. फर्स्टली दैट. सेकेंडली, वॉट वी डिड वॉज वी टारगेटेड सम रियली रेलिवेंट ऑडियंस वॉट वी वर लुकिंग फॉर. When we give gifts to people from Jai Hind college and colleges around that also who have come to the fest, to attend the fest, if the product is good, those people would wear that product again and come to college. A lot of people will keep seeing the brand, and that is what is happening on an everyday basis. I'm getting snaps from people in those colleges that, oh, I see someone wearing XD, oh, I see someone wearing XD, and that is a great feeling, because chalo, I know they have not purchased it, they have not paid for it, I know that is fine, but because the product was so good that they're wearing it out, that they're wearing it to college, that they're wearing between their friends, because they like the product, they like the design, they like the fit, right? So that is how we were trying to engage with our community. We've started to build our community, and of course we'll be doing many more things to like.
So basically what you're doing is what Facebook did earlier, hyper-local network effect.
Correct, yeah.
So you've chosen a college, gone deep into it, have built on word of mouth within those ecosystems.
Yes.
And then बाद में Harvard, Stanford भी फिर बुला देंगे, XD को बुला देंगे, फिर Harvard, Stanford भी XD बनेंगे.
Exactly.
आप मिलाओ इसी बात पे.
Exactly. आप एक एक जगह को तो आप वो कर लो. आज आप बॉम्बे के बेस्ट कॉलेजेस है, अगर आप उसको टारगेट कर लेते हो, जो बाकी कॉलेजेस के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, they automatically come to you.
The question to you is, how do you keep the conversation going after that first वाह के नाच लिया तुम्हारे साथ शुरू कर लिया? How do you keep that conversation going post that engagement exercise? Is what is going to be the key to cracking the entire community?
Correct. So what we did back then was कि हमने उनको जो डिस्काउंट कूपन्स और वो दिए ना, हमने उनको ये बोल दिया था कि आप लोग वेट करो, डिस्काउंट कूपन अभी तुरंत यूज़ मत कर देना. अभी हम लोग का और 3 कैटेगरीज विद इन दिस मंथ लॉन्च हो रहा है, एंड विच वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू लॉन्च. वी आर लॉन्चिंग ओवरसाइज टी शर्ट्स, स्ट्रीट टी शर्ट्स जो अभी इतना ट्रेंड है जिसका. वी आर लॉन्चिंग ओवरसाइज टी शर्ट, वी आर लॉन्चिंग कार्गो पैंट्स, एंड वी आर लॉन्चिंग बॉम्बर जैकेट्स. ठीक है. सो हमने उनको क्या बोला, आप ये कूपन संभाल के रखो. वी आर नॉट ऑल अबाउट सेल्स. ठीक है. वंस वी लॉन्च दीज प्रोडक्ट्स, दैट टाइम ऑल्सो दीज कूपन्स विल बी वैलिड. So if you want, you can try after that also. It is not about कि हमने कूपन दे दिया, हमको सेल्स चाहिए. नहीं, हमको चाहिए कि वो पर्सन को सही चीज़ मिल जाए, बट जल्दी नहीं है उसके लिए. उसी बहाने कम से कम वो XD को फॉलो तो करके रख रहा है कि कब कुछ अच्छा है जो मेरे को अच्छा लग जाए तो मैं खरीद लूँ. I have that coupon for it. You know, I don't want to go very bullish on coupons and all. We did that once, but to get that audience to keep their eyes on XD, we gave them coupons which would last them for a while. And which they could give probably to their family, friends, whoever, and we could get that audience as well.
Are you using WhatsApp as a means of communication with everyone you collected data on?
Not as of now. We have kept it all over our Instagram only, but we have plans of shifting it to WhatsApp.
I mean, WhatsApp, I think, is the king of community platforms.
Yes.
tried a bunch, but it's very intimate. But so you have to make sure that you don't kind of make it spammy on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And you're kind of providing some value apart from just discount coupon codes and things like that. But some value is being generated for the final user. If they're opening their WhatsApp, they shouldn't open it and say, another message from these guys and unlock them. It should be like, oh wow, that is interesting. I'd love to hear about whatever XYZ that you're providing.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. And that is exactly where I feel like if you crack this, then you are sorted in sense of your business. If you crack the community game, then I feel you are sorted. Then the scale will depend on the scale of your community. That is all. आज आप 100 लोग का कम्युनिटी के साथ आप एक सर्टेन लेवल पे स्केल कर पा रहे हो, वही अब आप कम्युनिटी को धीरे धीरे एट योर ओन पेस, हाउ यू लाइक इट, हाउ इट सूट्स योर बिजनेस. देयर इज नो रश. थोड़े लोग का रश में भी इट वर्क्स, थोड़े लोग का स्लो पेस पे इट वर्क्स. टू ईच इट्स ओन. एज वी ऑल से, इट्स one entrepreneur's personal journey and one brand's personal journey.
Right.
Correct? So to each its own, however you can build it. But as and when your community size increases, your scale, your sales, your business automatically increases.
Absolutely.
And that is like the most beautiful way to run a business as of now, to build communities.
Yeah, that's why creator-led brands are becoming so popular. Right? That's the core theme of Tagmango. Businesses in previous times was built where you build product first and then you went about building distribution.
Yep.
That hey, this is my product, now where do I find my customer? Now with the entire advent of social media and that shift has happened, now businesses primarily or creators, they build distribution first and product second. So where we come in is try to kind of help them build their product a lot faster in a simpler way. And further, the beautiful thing about digital products is that with a physical product, there's a cost involved to make it, to ship it, etc.
Right.
With a digital product, there's no literal cost involved. If you are effectively, let's say, building a course or sharing exclusive content, it's your time and energy input, and of course your knowledge and experiences, but
not anything materialistic that is going in. Correct. There is no material investment or no capital investment.
So you can also experiment a lot faster versus physical products. But yeah. Totally aligned with you in terms of how you're thinking on community.
And I think experimenting fast is a very good thing because you get to fail fast, you get to learn fast, and I think everyone needs to fail fast. Nobody can like start something and it's a hit. It's very rare for that to happen, but it's good. It's good for whoever it happens. It's great. But then most of the people start thinking, why didn't it happen with us? Why did we not crack it the first time? And it is okay because it was never supposed to be cracked the first time. Keep failing, guys. Keep failing. I feel when you keep trying new things, you keep failing and you keep learning. Once you learn 10 things, the 11th thing automatically is pretty sick, pretty great. Because that is not, because at the 11th time, you are not starting fresh. You are starting with an experience of the last 10 times. Yeah. So I feel, ठीक है, experiment fast करना है, तो फिर fail भी fast होना चाहिए और fail होने के बाद उतना ही फास्ट नया चीज़ भी ट्राई कर लेना चाहिए क्योंकि फेल होने के बाद इफ़ यू टेक अ बैक स्टेप देन देयर इज नो पॉइंट एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग फास्ट क्योंकि विद फास्ट एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग फेलियर फास्ट विल कम सो you have to be open minded towards it and you have to like be okay with failure. I mean, be okay with failure.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. We have made mistakes. Be okay with it. Like, don't take it harsh on yourself. If you take it harsh on yourself, then it is very difficult for you to like probably do something about it. But when you're okay with failure, I mean, of course, be serious about it. Don't be careless or irresponsible. Be serious. कि हाँ, okay, acknowledge the issue, but it's okay. That is also very important. कि it's okay. जो भी हो रहा है, it is okay. हो जाएगा वो ठीक. अब हम सीख गए ना, बस.
बिल्कुल है. I mean, there's too much said on that topic. On asking people to fail more often, but it is a game of patience and persistence. Definitely, that is nothing else. There is a lot of short-term winnings that people are like optimizing for in today's world, which is not the reality. So the faster you understand that that is not the reality, and it is going to take an absurd amount of time for you to really reach at the stage that you envision to reach, and it's done for most people, and only if you're patient enough to kind of go that path is when you'll create magic in the world.
Right, very true, very true.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about being patient, okay, I would just like to share this. There's someone I know who shared this cricket anatomy with me about being patient and about being an entrepreneur, okay? So he told me being an entrepreneur or starting a business is just like playing a test match. You stand there and you keep placing, defending. If you can do that, then you will get chances to hit a six also. But if you are not patient enough and if you start hitting since the start, once you are out, you are out. Then there is no second chance to hit a six. But once you are placing, बीच में आएगा ना chance. 6 मारो, 4 मारो, century मारो, सब हो पाएगा. But for that you need to be patient. You don't need to be in a rush.
Life has a compounding effect. So inherently, the more effort you constantly keep putting on for large periods of time, and there are a lot of anecdotes that say like bamboo, which takes 6 years to grow this much, and then after 6 years it shoots up, and there's a lot of such anecdotes that's there also. But life inherently has a compounding effect. Like I was seeing something, I don't know, it came up on my YouTube where Elon Musk's timeline of where he reached to today and the number of years it took him. It's been a 30-year career that you see an expanse of that 30-year career, and then you see that he's the richest man today. And like 10 years back, he was, he still early on, I think he sold his company, but like 10 years back, he was worth 600 billion itself, but today he's worth $200 billion, just 300 times of that, like, entire metric. So if you stick on with it and you let the magic of compounding kind of keep on, then you will see, oh wow.
Exactly.
And even if you look at any company's growth charts, like Zerodha's, I was seeing the first 5 years, I think the 5th year, they were doing like 50-60 crores in revenue. And it's been their 13th year or so, and today they have like 2,000 crores of profit. And it happened over the last 3-4 years only. That compounding happened because they stuck on with their problem statement for a long period of time and get double down upon it. That is when success happens.
Exactly, very true. I totally agree with that.
You look at Dream11. Dream11 started 17-18 years back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an old company. It's not new. It's been a long time since they've been building, and now we see about Dream11, they're doing like 300-400 crores of profit.
But I like the thinking behind Dream11 also, like the whole business model behind it. It's so
That's
good.
Of course.
Yeah, it's such a good business
I'm sure
model.
I don't know the Dream11 story, but it would have gone through a series of pivots, a series of understanding the markets, a series of challenges that the fantasy gaming sector was hit by a massive taxation thing, which of course they would have had things done. But the point is, it takes a long period of time, and it's an inordinate amount of time which you think might happen fast enough, because it might have happened, let's say, for someone else, which seems from the outside, but it's not. So
Exactly. And one thing where I want you, who've been a very important part of the whole social media creator entrepreneurship part, I want you to tell this to our audience that one does not need to achieve something by the age of 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
People are like really taking that very hard on themselves, that if they've not achieved something big by the age of 23, 24, 25, if they don't have something big going on, then they have not achieved anything in their life.
It's a fallacy. I think the only thing that you should achieve by the age of 23, 24, 25, of course, if you've met incredible goals, then that's incredible. But if you're able to create the right process for you, more than reaching a certain goal metric. When I mean the right process, where you're taking care of your physical health, you're taking care of your mental health, you're very, very disciplined, and discipline is a large role that it plays. You're very disciplined with your work, you're honest with yourself and with your own work and with others. You've been able to cultivate a peer group around you that allows you to grow and expand, rather than a peer group that's distracting you and taking you away from potentially what your goals in the long run are.
Correct.
Because 23, 24, 25 is of course an exploratory age, and it's not discounting, and of course you build on with that effort, but if you've built the right work ethic and put the right elements, then and you continue to do that, just focus on that process, whatever idea you're working on, whether you're a creator, whether you're doing business, whether you're a young professional, whether you don't even know what you want to do, the process will show you the way.
Exactly.
So I think that's what any 23, 24, 25-year-old should kind of focus on. And I can say this because by the age of 24, I was invited by Ahmedabad to come and speak then. This is like, I had done and dusted all of that in terms of speaking, and I identified that. Now I know that like it is a infinite game that I am playing, and in infinite games you set milestones, but there are no finite goals. But if the process is set, which is I am on a constant process of self-improvement every single day across all aspects of my life, which is a professional person and everything, then I know the results are going to come in all ways. There is no doubt the results are not.
Definitely, and I too feel personally that if you fail at the age of 20, 21, 22 or at an early age, it is a much better thing. I feel that personally. Chalo, let's talk about myself. You know about it. I had a startup before this. NFT space में जो एक startup था, crypto space में, Web3 space में जो startup था, ठीक है, it failed. Now, one way to look at it, probably my execution wasn't right. That's why it failed. Other way to look at it, probably the timing, the markets, the sentiments dropped drastically when we were working on that startup also. So that also didn't work with us. Of course, a lot of things need to align together for something to work. But ठीक है, blame नहीं करते हुए, let's say कि my execution was wrong. I did not execute it well. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. वो बंद हुआ. I spent 6 months, 8 months, 9 months to figure my shit out. And then when I jumped into my second project, my execution was so much better. And from there till today, when we're talking about our projects, clearly it hasn't failed yet. So from where I was 2 years back, I have crossed that today. And अगर आज में से चलो नहीं होएगा, touch wood, we are all very happy and positive about this. But कल उठ के कुछ भी एक चीज़ फेल हो भी जाती है तो भी हमने कितना कुछ सीखा है उससे. तो आज आप जो थर्ड चीज़ चालू करोगे उसमें आपके पास दो चीज़ का एक्सपीरियंस है जो यू विल मेक श्योर कि वो गलतियाँ यहाँ पे नहीं हुए एंड रिजल्ट्स वुड बी सो मच डिफरेंट. सो पीपल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट जल्दी फेल हो जाओ यार, अच्छी बात है, वो तो फेल नहीं होगे तो सीखोगे कैसे.
There is a stat that I read some time ago that the average age of a successful founder is 42 years of age. Younger founders have been glorified so much, but there are only a handful of young founders, of course, that's there. But when you look at that metric standalone, that the average age is 42, and you know that they've gone through that set of experiences to have reached that stage with their ups and downs and failures and everything. That's there, which defines them or has given them the skill sets to make our company successful. So, I mean, it's that process again. I come back to the process because that's the most important thing I've realized so far, and I'm also very, very early in my journey. If you kind of stick on it for the long run, and there is no door that God's not kind of left for you that you cannot open. If you think that you want to become the Prime Minister, a billionaire, the top athlete, like, if you believe it truly and I have absolute faith around it, then you will absolutely go on kind of becoming that. There is no doubt about it. You have to believe it with absolute faith. And once you have that faith, you put in the work. It's that next step which automatically happens right after that. I mean, the ups, downs, successes, failures, those are just going to be a part of like that heartbeat that's going to be a part of life. But you will be affected a lot by it. That's my single-minded thing that I'm focused on, and I believe that I'm going to make it. Then you're going to make it.
Right, definitely. Talking about the founder's journey, correct? I have heard you saying this, that at any given point in your life, you have multiple doors open for you. I have heard this in one of your videos, right? You said this, that at any given point of life, you have multiple doors open for you. You should know which door is the right door for you. So as a founder, how do you decide that this decision, there is no assurance that this is the right decision, but how do you decide for yourself that this could be the right decision for our business or for myself, or this could not work probably the right way? How do you decide that?
I mean, there's no right way to kind of, there's of course, like I remember Mark Zuckerberg had said this, and I remember this from an interview that he said that as a founder, I have a million things that I can do. A million directions I could have taken Facebook, but this is right at the time when Facebook was given that acquisition offer from Yahoo. And he said one of the things that he's been able to do incredibly well as a founder is surround himself with people who are smarter than him, investors that are on his board, or people who can go to from advice, which can be entrepreneurs that are ahead in the journey compared to good. So that's one way. You cannot completely foolproof it, but at least some kind of padding you can make against wrong decisions by surrounding yourself with those set of people. And secondly, I feel again, like, since you have like multiple doors, you look at the data. I look at the data, I understand it, and I try to evaluate it, but then I let the decision be driven by intuition. It can be called a little metaphysical. It's also with respect to how I hire people or whatever it is. Is that intuition that, this some kind of inner calling, this looks like the right way to do it.
Definitely. Intuition is any day much more trustable for one than data. For your own self than the data. But the data speaks.
The data speaks, but I mean, I will look at the data and like, sure, kind of narrow down upon options to choose from, but my final decision is always like the intuition. Let's go this way. And it's hard to kind of define intuition as well, because I personally kind of meditate, and I've been meditating for the last 8 years. I think that's built my intuitive powers a lot more, and there's like an entire metaphysical conversation that we can do from here, but it just, you call it a vibe, right? You meet a person, you're like, hey, I like the vibe of that person, etc. Because your intuition is saying that you like the vibe of this person.
Right, true.
It's not sure, there's a lot of data that is being on the back of your head, your mind is connecting a lot of dots, which is driving to that intuition. But yeah, I think that's how another way to kind of soundproof yourself is by strengthening the muscle of intuition.
Correct.
Through the different formats that possible.
Correct. And when you surround yourself with more experienced people, you get to learn from their experiences also. I mean, that is happening with me as well. We have someone in our team who is a consultant to us, but who has done this for the last 10 years. Right?
No, man, of course.
So the things that he tells us, if we follow it, we see, okay, yeah, right, this could have gone wrong, this could have gone right. So, Divyanshu, I would actually want you to tell our college students, our viewers from the college, like the kids who are going to step into the real world, what steps should they be taking in those college days only that could help them shape their life right after college, when they step into the real world, when they see the reality and the harshness of the real world in the work sector or the entrepreneurship sector or any sector. But there are certain steps that every college student should start doing, learning the basics basically.
Yeah. The basics, if I had to kind of break it down into 4 parts. One is explore as much as possible. So when you explore, you build as much exposure, explore different fields, because that is going to allow you to identify your strengths and things you do not like, so that you can double down and double click on things that you like and do more of those post college.
Right.
Second, it's almost taken from the first point, but start making money. In whatever format, be it an internship stipend that you are effectively trying to do, and you have the ability to kind of support yourself, or at least in that direction, but start to figure out whether it's freelancing and things like those, whatever floats your boat.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's an early and it's a good start. Of course, if you have, and every advice comes with a caveat, and I'm no place to give advice, I don't like giving advice, so everyone to their own thing, but I feel that it gives you the level of independence that you would not have gotten otherwise. There is another complete new chapter that opens up. Third, of course, is on the second point I can build upon, that is build hard skills and soft skills both. Like your college will not provide for skill development in a very, very large way. But things like soft skills in terms of communication, in terms of interpersonal skills, how you connect with people, build relationships, etc. All of that is very, very important. And like it's generic, but it's something that every college student should do. So every opportunity that you can get hold of in college to, let's say, participate in your college fest, raise your hand for whatever it is, whatever that opportunity inherently kind of lies, you should kind of take on that, which will again help you to explore a lot more. And lastly, I think try and connect with people that are smarter than you and use existing tools that allow you to do that. Like cold emailing is such a powerful thing that people don't use inherently. So learn cold emailing. In fact, use ChatGPT for cold emailing. Use LinkedIn in a very strong way to connect with people, maybe in your field, maybe outside your field, and in that first email try and provide some value instead of kind of be a generic hi sir, how are you? With the HWR and U question mark. Please don't do that. That is not what we expect. But like learn about this. This is not something new that I'm sharing. People have built longer form content very well structured out in terms of learning that out, and then seek those people and seek their time and provide them some kind of value altogether, because again, coming back to your peer sets altogether, and like all these four things combined with taking care of your own, the things I mentioned, personal health, mental health, finding discipline and teaching yourself that muscle of discipline and willpower will transform your life.
It takes time. It's not an overnight journey.
I'm not saying that don't put illogical or almost unreal kind of taglines that hey from the next tomorrow only that I'm gonna, it's not gonna happen
every day, but if you take one step towards it, then one day you will be there.
Exactly. I mean that's the thing towards how you should think as a college student, and I have fun dude.
Yeah, have fun. College mein to just have fun. XD is all about like just having fun, guys. Just have fun.
Yeah,
correct.
That's very important. When you
chill,
balance,
take it easy, chill.
Balance it out as well. Like I've like really balanced out both nights, not being like singularly focused on just working. I've had a balance, still continue to have a very balanced approach.
And that is healthy also. That is very healthy. That is very necessary.
To each his own.
Of course. Of course. But according to me, one thing that a college student needs to do, irrespective of how much fun he's having or how much hard he's working, is networking. Because you can have a lot of fun while networking also.
100%.
Exactly. So networking is something one at any given stage, at any given age of life should never stop, because you don't know which network can take you where.
Absolutely.
Networking is something that is like just beautiful. It's so much fun to do it because you keep learning.
Absolutely.
You get to share your experience as well. So you get to hear their opinions on your experience as well. So it opens so many perspectives for you. And like the more perspectives, the more better vision you could have. I feel that. So networking is like really, really important for any, not just college students, for us also. Like we can't stop networking. Today we cannot stop networking, or else we'll be much behind than what the others are doing, because we don't know what they are doing, right? So networking is like very important.
And also like in terms of networking, it's important to add that as a caveat. There are two ways you can kind of network. There can be targeted networking, where if let's say you're a freelancer, then you are looking at certain people to become your clients, then you try and network in that category. And then there can be a spray and pray kind of networking with people where you do not have anything that you need back.
There is no anything back in the mind.
Then you open yourself to all kinds of ideas, and even when you're doing targeted networking, you don't close the other doors, because there's a lot of learnings you can get from someone outside your field versus your field.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, to double click on what you just said about networking for sure.
Networking is important.
So Naman, what does XD stand for?
See, XD is all about laughter, correct? The XD emoticon stands for laughter. Yeah, EKSDE is the whole brand name, but the logo, the emoticon stands like X and D. Where do we use XD? After a funny statement, correct? When we want to express laughter. So XD stands for laughter, and what we are trying to embrace with XD is that every time you wear a product from XD, there should be a smile that comes on your face. There should be moments of laughter, moments of happiness, not just because of our product, but there should be a slight effort from our product also to get that smile on your face, to get that happiness on your face. So we are trying to just keep doing that.
And like, just to kind of double down on that, it's very hard to build an e-com wearable brand. Like any t-shirts, etc. There's so many players in the market. It's highly saturated. How do you kind of plan to differentiate yourself against it?
I'll be very honest. I don't know what it looks like. No. About this, I'll be very honest, because it looks very different on the outer side. That it's so difficult to build an e-com business. No, it is not. Especially in the fashion industry, it is not difficult at all to build a fashion business, a fashion brand. Someone can start a fashion brand with as less of an investment as just 80 to 90,000 rupees. A fashion brand can be started with just that. Now I'll tell you the cons of that. Okay, you buy a heat press machine for just about 15,000 rupees. You pick stickers that are readily made, designs that are readily made on Etsy. You find bundles on Etsy, you find bundles on different such platforms. Okay, now there are some brands that are trying to 30% change the design, because after changing the design 30% there are no copyright issues, correct? You can use it yourself. So there are those some brands that are 30% changing the design and using it and then selling it. Even worse, coming more like below that, there are brands that are not even changing 30% of those designs. So for example, I've just bought that 15,000 rupees ka machine. I've picked that design. I've asked someone to make a sticker for the same, which will charge me approximately 40 rupees, not more than that. उसको स्टिकर को प्लेस्ड ऑन द टी शर्ट, छापा और मैंने बेच दिया. चालू करना इज़ नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, मतलब इट इज़ नॉट डिफिकल्ट. चालू तो आपने 80,000 रुपये के साथ कर दिया, मतलब चालू आज काफ़ी लोग कर सकते हैं ये चीज़. What is important is how you are branding, how you are marketing, how consistent you are, how unique you are. Like, we don't copy paste designs. We have never copy pasted designs. All our designs are very, very particularly created by our in-house designers. So none of our designs were picked from some bundle. It is never readily available online. One is that. Secondly, of course, product. जैसे मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बोला, मार्केटिंग ब्रांडिंग से आपको फर्स्ट टाइम ऑर्डर आ जाएगा, बार बार ऑर्डर नहीं आएगा. आप एक बार ऑर्डर के बेसिस पे एग्जैक्टली, और प्रोडक्ट विल स्पीक फॉर इट सेल्फ. तो वंस वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ गुड प्रोडक्ट, वी आर वेरी बुलिश ऑन मार्केटिंग एंड ब्रांडिंग ऑल्सो. बट वो एक बार वो कस्टमर जब खरीद लेता है ना, सेकेंड टाइम हमारा कैक बहुत डाउन हो जाता है. सेकेंड टाइम हमको उतना मार्केटिंग नहीं करना पड़ता उस पर्टिकुलर कस्टमर के लिए. मे बी फॉर अ न्यू सेट ऑफ कस्टमर्स हमको करना ही पड़ेगा, बट वो कस्टमर वो ऑटोमेटिकली हैज़ फाउंड लव फॉर आवर ब्रांड, हैज़ फाउंड रिस्पेक्ट फॉर आवर ब्रांड, हैज़ फाउंड द ट्रस्ट towards our brand, and that is how we take forward. When I know it is so easy to start a business with just 80,000 rupees, still if we have invested a certain amount, if we have invested much more than that, we have invested lakhs and lakhs of rupees in this business, we know what we are doing.
Sure.
When I know that it can be started with just 80,000 rupees also, but if I'm investing lakhs, then there is a reason. There is a reason to get that customer's trust with our product, with our storytelling, with our everything, with our experience, just our customer experience basically. The customer's journey with XD, we are trying to build that very uniquely, very differently than the rest in the market. And that is what differentiates us than the others.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Kill it with XD, and looking forward to more such conversations.
Of course. And I mean, every time I have a conversation with you, there is something I'm learning, I'm taking back with me, a good piece of something that I'm taking back with me. So I'm always looking forward to more conversations.
Likewise, man, there's learning in everything. So by all the best, XD, and keep making people laugh.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the only goal. Honestly, that's the only goal. If it was all about sales, then we would have also taken that 80,000 wala journey to get the sales. But it is all about getting people laugh. Honestly, it is all about getting people laugh. Like, people should be happy wearing our product. We are very happy. It genuinely brings happiness to me when I see someone happily wearing my product. Khud se, without mere bole, it gets immense happiness to me. Like, I'm very happy, and that is all that me and my entire team looks forward to also. Just people should be happy wearing our product. There should not be any complaints. That is all that we care for.
Us, keep doing it.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. That was a great conversation.